He did Park, and Park shook his head. He called him a fat bastard, and Park headed toward the ring. Another commercial break. Well, Joseph Park versus YBE. Park rolled him up immediately for the win as well. Well, that match took 7 seconds. Romance attacked both guys and put the boots to them. They pulled Park to the floor and slammed him to the rail. He came up bleeding and destroyed both men in the ring. He snapped out of it and asked EY what happened. EY smiled and hugged him because that was Abyss. Tenay and Taz talked at ringside as Tenay said that they still didn't have an update on Anderson's condition. Taz said he was surprised at what Bully Ray had done to Anderson last week, video recapping the angle from last week. Then we get Ray and Book were showing headed towards the ring as they go to commercial. A video recapping Styles winning last week and calling out Dixie. Dixie walked out of her office backstage and Hulk Hogan walked up, asked her what she was what was going on with Styles, and she told him, hold on while she read something on her phone. Hogan offered to go out with her and help. She said she had it under control. Ace and H make their entrance as Ray asked where Anderson was and said apparently he couldn't make it tonight. He insulted the crowd and then did his question gimmick. And the feed held up. And the moment when he came back, West was bitching about Brooke. Ray told him to check himself, and Garrett said West had a point. He backed Garrett into the corner and said if either of them talked to him that way again, he would slap them in the face. Nux took the mic away and asked what about him. He said he had been there since day one, and they had started with 25 people and now down to 4. Here's what was said about Ray's leadership. He said Ray was always talking about club business, but Ray forgot the first rule of the club: bros before hoes. Ray slapped him and said if Nux ever referred to his girl as a hoe again, he would knock his head off. The crowd chanted "hoe" as Nux pulled his hat off and looked crazy. Ray said it was time to leave and quickly stepped from the ring as Nux closed on him, and Ray and Brooke left as the other 3 seized in the ring. Backstage, Sting was talking up with Magnus and got him ready to fight Ego. As they go to commercial, Mexican America 4.7 make their way to the ring for the ring entrance. The tag champs were out next. Chavo took the mic and said he was injured so as much as he wanted to embarrass them. The doctor said he couldn't fight. Gunner took the mic and said he wasn't leaving until he fought someone. He asked about Hernandez, and Hernandez said he was fine. Storm said he would sit on the floor and drink beer while they fought. So we get Hernandez with Chavo in the corner versus Gunner with James Storm. I assume the stipulation: if Hernandez wins, he and Chavo earn the title shot is still in play. Hernandez hits his diving shoulder tackle from the ramp, but Gunner hit a weak-looking fall away slam and backbreaker for the win. So we got a 4 minute, 17-second match. So there's no Mexican America does not get a tag shot, title shot, and ring introductions occurring for the 6-man tag match. Sting went back and got his back from behind the curtain. Next match, number 6, Ego, that's Bobby Roode, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian, versus the main event Mafia. Sting, Magnus, and Samoa Joe. Joe and Daniels started. Daniels attacked Joe to start as Roode distracted the bigger man. But Joe no-sold and destroyed Daniels as Kazarian tagged in and took a beating from Magnus and Sting. Sting knocked Daniels and Roode to the floor, but that allowed Daniels to trip Sting on a rip, and the Hills took control just before a commercial break. After that break, Sting continued to take the heat. He had one tag that the ref disallowed, but finally got the hot tag to Magnus. Magnus hit a slam on Roode and then covered, but Daniels broke it up. The match broke down from there and with Man Event Mafia hitting big moves and Ego breaking up pins. Joe hits a nasty looking suicide dive that looked like he hit the railing. Sting put Daniels in a scorpion. Roode ran in with the bat and Magnus took the shot instead to protect Sting. Roode covered for the win. Ego won the match in a 14-minute, 27-second match. Then they go to commercial. AJ Styles makes his entrance and said that he's been here since day one trying to make the company a viable alternative. He said Dixie Carter's daddy bought her a wrestling company with no blood, sweat, or experience in wrestling. He said Dixie broke up what worked. He asked what happened to Jerry Lynn or Low Key. Well, Jerry Lynn not returning, but Low Key is in the future. He said they were replaced for MMA stars or guys who came for 2 years, well-paid vacation before going back to wherever they came from. He said that pissed him off. He said Dixie's biggest mistake was staring her in the face. He said contrary to the internet, he didn't have a contract anymore and that none of the contracted stars or in the back respected her anyway. He said he was going to win the TNA title for himself and the boys to jump. He said he was going to make her get on her knees and beg and then make her pay. Dixie walked out with no music and stood at Styles' face. Styles told her to say something. He said he expected a tweet or something, so she needed to say something. Dixie said if Styles was saying those things in public, then it must be from his heart. She said as president of this company, she was responsible to the fans and to the office staff and all the people in the back, and she was sorry while almost in tears. Her mood changed as she was sorry that she ever let him think he was anything special in this company. Dixie then said he was only slightly better than an average fish in any pond anywhere. Then she said that she could call the Marshall one because she couldn't remember the last time he had a great match. She said the phenomenal one was a marketing gimmick she came up with and that she made AJ Styles just like she was the one who built this house, not AJ. Dixie said without her daddy's paycheck, he would still be in a trailer doing nothing. She said he was lucky he was even allowed to ever be a part of the company, and then mockingly thanked him for letting her come out to the ring to address his issues. She started to leave as AJ told her before she left to put her mic where it belonged. Dixie ran over and yelled for his mic to be cut. She snatched a headset off the head of the cameraman on the ring apron and demanded his mic to be cut. The mic was eventually cut, and Dixie demanded the lights to be turned off because the show was over. All the lights went out, and the fans booed in the darkness to close the show. And now for your September 26th episode by Steve Carrier. The Ringside News. Impact Wrestling starts out with the video package. Looking at Magnus and Bobby Roode's rivalry, it became Ego versus Main Event Mafia. Ego won after Magnus took a baseball bat shot to save Sting. It switches to the Aces and Eights story. Well, the club is falling apart. Billy is leading the pack and leading it without anyone else behind him. It switches to AJ Styles and his promo he cuts from last week. He calls out to Dixie Carter. He will make her pay. Dixie gave her response and cut AJ's mic off and ended the show. Well, Dixie Carter is walking backstage. Sting meets up with her. He welcomes her. She pulls out her phone. He says that she has her phone, so she must have gotten his text. He asks her why she did what she did last week. Dixie says not to worry as Dixie knows what she's doing. She walks away and Sting looks on. The camera shows the arena and the audience is still going crazy. They're on their feet cheering like no other. Music hits and here comes Bully Ray and Brook Tessmacher. They wrap each other up on the ramp and then continue down the ring. Ray hands her the title and grabs a mic. He wants his music off right now. He says that he has not often lost for words, but Dixie Carter shot the hell out of him. Did you hear the way she put AJ Styles in his place? He said it was awesome and great. Ever since AJ won the series, Ray was staying up at night thinking of ways to beat Styles. He doesn't have to worry about how to beat him anymore. Dixie is inside AJ's head. AJ should kiss the ground Carter walks on. As Ray states, he doesn't always agree with her, but she was the one who made AJ and who he is today. Without her, AJ wouldn't be there performing for the morons. Wait, he forgot something. Do you know who I am? Just then, the music hits and here comes Nuts. He uses the Ace and Ace music. Also, here's a mic and says he knows who Ray is. Nuts gets in the ring and Wes Briscoe and Jarrett are also behind him. Nuts states that Ray is focused on bully business. He is focused on the title rather than the group and who is in it. He is too worried about his hoe and his boast. Ray gets on the mic and tells Nuts something one time and one time only. Do not call her a hoe. The crowd starts saying it louder and louder. Ray gets furious. Nuts loves it. Ray Cobra takes him out to his ears. He tells them not to call her it. But they continue. Next tells Ray, Nuts tells Ray not to worry about that too much because they fight Main Event Mafia to take care of the club business. Them three, not Ray. Bully Ray tells them to get in line to knock the smirks off their faces. Jarrett keeps it on. Ray states he makes the decisions. He is president and they are all little sidekicks. They saw what he did to D-Lo and what he did to Mr. Anderson. He did the same to Devon, his brother. He could do the same thing to them. Fall in line. If they lose tonight, then the lights out for one of them tonight. One of them, if they lose, will be out of the club. Ray exits the ring with Westmacher as the music plays as Wes Garrett and Nuts look on. Then we get Mike today and Taz looking on camera to discuss the lineup for tonight. As they do, video plays showing ODB beating Mickey James from the previous week for the Knockhouse title. Goes to Park backstage. He puts a shaving cream on his face as he sings Sweet Caroline. Eric Young and ODB come into the scene and ask what is he doing. He could cut himself with the razor. Park says those razors are so dull. Park says he is worried about him. EY tells him not to shave before the match anymore. Park still has to get ready, so he hurries up. EY grabs the razor, but ODB tells him not to even think about it. She loves some beard. Robbie E. and Jesse Goddard come out on the stage as their music playing. Gail Kim comes out afterwards. They walk down the ramp and get in the ring. For a commercial break coming up is Joseph Park, Eric Young, and ODB come out on stage. As they walk to the ring, video plays showing their segment where they were last week. It ended up with Park being cut open and taking down Jesse and Robbie. Robbie E, Jesse Goddard, and Gail Kim versus Joseph Park, Eric Young, and ODB. Gail Kim starts off match against ODB. They meet each other in the middle of the ring. They exchange a few words. Then Gail tags Robbie. Robbie talks to her, and then ODB turns and tags Park. He gets in, and Robbie pushes Park back to the corner. Park pushes Robbie down. He gets up and goes after Park, but he whips Robbie into the ropes. He lifts him up and drops him down on his face and chest. Robbie gets up and tries for a body slam, but Park lifts Robbie up and hits the slam. He covers, but Robbie kicks out. Park gets up and goes into his opponent's corner. Gail and Jesse hold Park as Robbie runs and smashes into him. Robbie tags Jesse. They double whip him into the corner, chest first. He falls to his knees afterwards. Jesse chokes him on the middle rope and then hits a drop kick as Park gets to his feet. Jesse goes for a whip, but Park reverses it. He goes to a back body drop. But Jesse holds on and tries for a sunset flip. Park stops and jumps up and goes to sit down on Jesse, but he moves. Jesse tags Robbie, and Robbie goes right to Park with a low drop kick and then a cover. Park kicked out. Robbie choked Park and then punches him several times. Robbie got up and waits. He then slapped Park's head. Park goes up to his feet and lifts Robbie up and hits a Samoan drop. Park reaches over, but Robbie grabs his leg. Park tags EY, but the referee was looking at Jesse as he comes in the ring. No tag. Robbie tags Gail. She enters and goes after Park with a couple kicks. Park tries to tell her to stop. She slaps him, and he's hulking up. YBE comes in and hits Park from behind. Gail tags Jesse and he enters. Then he and Robbie go after Park, but Park clotheslines them down. Park tags EY, climbs in the corner and does a crossbody on both Robbie and Jesse. EY continues. Gail Kim enters and goes after him, but ODB gets in and tosses Gail out to the ramp. Robbie starts doing some fist pumping as ODB stares at him. She grabs his head and bites it. Park runs and clotheslines him out of the ring. They beat Jesse down. Park climbs the corner and jumps for a splash. EY was on another corner and does an elbow drop. ODB does a splash and pins Jesse. ODB, Eric Young, and Joseph Park win the match. Cameraman backstage with Austin Aries. He asks Aries what is next up for him after the BFG series. Aries says he was taking some hot pictures for ImpactWrestling.com, but instead of telling him, he will go to the ring and tell everyone. Commercial break. Hogan was showing walking backstage. Cameraman asked him about Dixie AJ segment from last week. Hulk had to look at the transcript as he couldn't believe it. He is there to fix it. Hulk walks away. Double A, Austin Aries music plays, and out he comes down the ramp and gets right to the ring. Aries says he loves the welcome as this is what he likes to hear. He then goes on to say that people ask him what is next as the BFG series is over. Last year he faced Jeff Hardy in the main event. It doesn't matter where he is on the card, as he is he is main eventing everywhere he goes. He is greatness, music hits, and here comes Kenny King. King comes on stage with a mic and says that is music to his ears, and then those trumpet plays from his theme song. He knows he can say whatever he wants. Kenny says that he has something to say, and that has been bothering him. Aries tells him to say it right now. King goes on to talk about how Aries made headlines, but King was making headlines last year. King was talking down the competition to win the X Division title. King keeping the competition down to keep his title, but then he had it stolen from Chris Whale Sabin. It was, however, stolen from a person in a mask, and that as Aries, King was now in the ring and goes to Aries' face. King says he is the future and Aries has to look out for him. Aries says he never signed up to this newspaper with all these headlines in it. Aries says he has his wrestling gear on, so if King wants to fight, fight. Aries takes his shirt off. King says the same thing Hillary Clinton says before she goes into with her husband. Homeboy, you want any of this? King suddenly punches Aries in the face. He falls. He continued with the attack, but Aries got up and kicked King. He leaves the ring and grabs a mic. And once the referee out there, no one gets away from punching him. When the referee does come out, Aries climbs the corner and the fight as both stand up. And they go to commercial. Aries will punch a King on the outside after a commercial break. Comes back and climbs to the steps of the ramp. Aries follows. Then you finally get the match. The bell finally sounds. Aries grabs the shirt of King, wraps around his neck, and tosses him in the ring. King goes to the corner. Aries follows with punches in the face. Many times, King is busted open. King falls and goes to another corner. Aries does more punches. But King lifts Aries up and drops him on the ropes. Aries falls to the outside, face and chest first. King goes to the outside and brings Aries back in. He goes after Aries with kicks and punches. Aries goes to the corner. King whips him into the opposing corner. And then does a huge splash. Blood is gushing out of his face. King jumps up, goes for a leg drop, but Aries moves out of the way. Both get up. Aries slaps him in the chest multiple times. He whips him into the opposing corner and then does an atomic drop. He whips King in the ropes, but King holds on. Aries runs and King does a back body drop. Aries holds on to the ropes, but gets back in the ring and takes King up and drops him down on his knee. Aries does a spinning elbow drop. He gets King up and goes for the brain buster, but King gets out. Slaps Aries in the face. He does punches, but Aries punches back. Aries goes for a huge elbow strike, but King ducked it and hits a spin kick. He covers as Aries kicks out at 2. King lifts Aries up on his shoulders. Aries gets out of it and goes on to the apron. He snaps King's head back. Aries climbs to the corner, but King takes him off from his feet and then kicks him right in the head. While being on the top rope, King goes and does a huge superplex. King covers, but Aries kicked out. Aries went to the corner, but King runs in for a drop kick. But Aries moved, then he runs and does the drop kick again. Aries lifted King up and nails a brain buster and a pinfall. 1-3 count. Commercial break. Video of Lady Tapa aired and she's coming soon. Aries is walking backstage with a towel on his head. Chris Sabin and Velvet Sky meet up with him. Tell him congratulations on his win tonight. It states that he is great. That it is great. He is in the X Division again. It was cool to see him fight for the world title after cashing in the X Division title. But Sabin did it and was better and more memorable. Sabin says he is greater than the greatest man that has ever lived. He will make history by becoming the 7-time X Division champion. Chris and Sky leave as Aries says he is going to test his greater than the greatest man that has ever lived. Magnus, Samoa Joe, and Sting are backstage. Magnus throws his gear on the floor. They ask him what's wrong. He says ego. They made him lose the BFG series. They are getting into his brain. Joe tells them to let it go. That is what they want to do. Magnus goes to leave and find them. But Sting tells that Main Event Mafia was made to get rid of Aces and Eights, and they are close to pushing them over the edge. They need to focus on that, and Magnus agrees. Hulk Hogan's walking backstage. There's a commercial. The video plays showcasing the ending of last week's Impact Wrestling. This showed AJ busting his butt in the company for 11 years. He has done it all. He wants to make Dixie Carter pay now. Dixie Carter comes out and plays the sympathy role. She turns and rips AJ a new one. He is an illusion. He is nothing without Dixie and her family. Dixie Carter built TNA. She built AJ's house and owned it. AJ starts to talk back, but Dixie has had enough and is done. She ends the show. Music plays and here comes Hulk Hogan. Crowd stands as they cheer. Hulk talks to the fans that they are on their feet and gets in the ring. He grabs the mic and the crowd continues. They aren't stopping as he looks around. Hogan gets on the mic and says he knows the time when it is so fine to be in Little Rock. To hear the roar, he knows he is powerful. He needs the power for something that is extremely deep. He has been in TNA for 4 years, and he has formed an opinion on Dixie since day one. He has been GM for about 2 years. He has seen the backstage politics explode, but no one should ever air dirty laundry. He asks the crowd if they think AJ Styles should stay in this company. They cheer. He restates the question, and they cheer even more. Hogan thought of the same response. He knows AJ is in the back and wants to hear the love. The crowd chants for AJ. Let's cut the crap now. He is going to take AJ and Dixie Carter and fix it. He is going to bring AJ out here later tonight and fix it for him, for himself, and for everyone. Hogan then exits the ring as his music plays. They go to the mic. Mike Tenay and Taz are shown as they do some talking about Hulk, AJ, and then Aces 8 and the Main Event Mafia. And then they turn to Baffle Glory Series. The video plays and it's all about the return of Kurt Angle. He is coming back at Baffle Glory. Commercial break. Ethan is coming. Showing AJ Styles walking backstage. The cameraman asked AJ what he thought about Hulk. Well, Hulk said AJ heard that he has no problem hearing him out. See you out there, Hulk. We'll see you out there, Hogan. Sabin comes out on stage and Velvet's with him. They walk down the ramp. Sabin helps Sky inside the ring while he gets in the ring. Manic comes out next to with the X Division title around his torso. Holds up the title up and gets in the ring. He wants Chris right now, but Earl Hebner holds him back. Manic goes right after Sabin and takes him down. Sabin punches him to the side. Both get up and Manic continues to beat him up. He takes Chris down and covers him. Sabin kicks out. Both men are up. Sabin tries to leave the ring, but Manic holds his leg. Sabin gets up and fights back. Manic grabs Sabin and whistles in the corner. Sabin jumps up and Manic goes under him. Sabin lands on his feet but falls as he hurt his knee. He rolls out of the ring. Sky follows him around as he crawls and limps. Manic goes to follow but gets in the ring. Sky then helps him around the side. Sabin stops and then pushes Sky into Manic. As Manic goes to the outside, Sabin gets on the apron, runs and kicks Manic's head off. Sabin brings Manic back in the ring and Manic goes to the corner. Sabin goes to him. Manic attacks Chris. As he comes back, he takes the legs out from underneath Sabin and locks him in a leg submission. Manic unlocks the submission and trips over Hebner. Manic pushes him out of the way. Chris gets up and goes after Manic. He kicks him and hits several leg drops, and Manic gets up and gets to the top rope. Sabin climbs up too, and Manic lifts Sabin up. Drops him face first. On the mat, Manic waits. Jumps on a missile drop kick to the head. Manic gets up and gets Chris up, but Sabin gets an uppercut and does several kicks and punches, and then takes Sabin down and somersault on him. He covers the Sabin kicks out. Both go up and he whips Manic into the ropes. He holds on. Does a drop toe hold. Sabin falls in the middle of the rope. Manic goes to a leg drop choke. Manic applies another leg submission hold. Sabin crawls and Sky puts her hands to Chris. Chris doesn't let go as Manic grabs Chris's leg. He pulls him back and Sky gets in. Chris lets Sky go and does a roll up. Manic reverses it and has Chris down. And he gets a 3 count. Winner and still champion Manic. Manic celebrates in the ring as Sky looks in the corner. Sabin gets up and attacks Manic from behind. Just then, Double A, Austin Aries runs out. Sabin and Sky leave and they go up ramp Manic and Aries looks up. And looks on. In the segment. Aces 8. Garrett and Nux backstage as the club is falling apart. What's happening? Garrett talks some sense into him. Nux says he is in it and says that they can't afford to lose another member. Garrett says they can't afford to lose another brother. Nux and West get fired up and they're ready. Commercial break. And video showing the hyping of Kurt Angle's return. Returning at Bound for Glory. Bobby Roode Daniels and Kazarian are backstage. They can't believe Angle is going into the Hall of Fame. Roode knows 3 people who should go into the Hall of Fame. They have done more in the past 3 years than Kurt's done in the entire company. He has done nothing in the main event Mafia. Daniels goes all over and insults him. They go up and music plays. Out comes Aces and Eights. They go up ramp and hit the ring. Main event Mafia comes out and goes in the ring. Aces and Eights versus main event Mafia. Magnus and Nux go after each other. The bell hits. Magnus puts Nux in the corner, hits high with punches and kicks, gets away with tags West. He gets in and Magnus takes him up and kicks him right down suplex. West gets up and tags in Garrett. Magnus gets Garrett up and he's to suplex. They fight and go out to outside. Magnus gets Garrett down. Magnus climbs to the corner. Ego comes out and they knock Magnus off the rope. They stop on the outside. Sting goes up to them. They run away. Nux grabs Sting and brings him inside the ring and attacks him with West and Garrett. And they go to the apron and Garrett is left to fight Sting. As they go to commercial. Sting hits Garrett along the rope. Then Sting, he puts Sting's face on the ropes and drags it across the face. Gets to the corner. They go back and forth for a little while. Sting eventually does the Stinger Splash to West in the opposing corner. Joe applies a rear naked choke hold. He takes West down and he taps. Winner and For the match, Sting and Samoa Joe. West lying in the middle of the ring, yada, yada, yada. AJ and Hulk are about walking backstage. They split screen. Hagen hitting into the ring after a commercial break. Hogan gets in the ring. They go back and forth. Oh, with some back and forth. He has a clipboard in his hand. Hogan says. He says there are a lot of bad blood between AJ and Dixie. He wants to call out the man for the team TNA. He fights against Bully Ray Battle for Glory. His music hits. Out comes AJ Styles. He comes down with a leather jacket and hood. He takes the hood off and the music changes. He has a baseball cap on and under it. He gets in the ring and meets up with Hulk. Hulk and AJ, Mike, and Hulk grabs another one. Hulk says he has been around the block a few times and the place was so crazy that he couldn't spit out how great it was for AJ to win the BFU series. He knows AJ is going to win the title at pay-per-view. He can't have a champion without the contract, though. Here is the contract. Hulk already signed it. He hands it to AJ. AJ goes to sign it, but he goes to talk before he can say anything. Hulk tells AJ that they love him and they want to get it. AJ looks at the contract and signs it. He says, "I'm yours." Just then, Dixie Carter walks out and apologizes for the interruption. Dixie gets in the ring. She doesn't want to be rude, but she reminds Hulk the reason why she brought Hulk into TNA. She brought him in for opportunities to make things great. He taught him so much and he opened a lot of opportunities. However, he is just an employee. She will improve. Hulk, though, as an employee, she turns to AJ and says he has to get down on his knees and beg. The reality is staring him in the face. Dixie says he is just another marginal figure. She grabs the contract from the clipboard and rips it up. Hulk has no idea what's going on. Dixie turns and yells at AJ to get out of the ring. AJ talks back, but Dixie overrides him. He tosses the mic at her and leaves the ring. Dixie says she probably knows Hulk is mad, just like everyone, but no one has lived like Dixie. They don't understand the decisions she makes. The 99% who attacked her for the last 4 or 5 months need her. 1% are the creators. Hulk is holding his head. Dixie understands what Hulk is doing, but she should have ran what he was going to do with her before he came out. She goes on to state that they know what it takes to take the company to another level. Does he want to be part of it? Dixie asks Hulk whether he is going to be on Team Dixie or sit on the sidelines with AJ. He will give Hulk a week to decide and knows he will do the right thing. Dixie left the ring and walks backstage. Hogan looks on. He is stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He looks around as the crowd chants, "Hogan, Hogan, Hogan." Hulk is dumbfounded as the show fades, and that's the end of my report for the month of September. Thanks again. Peace out.